Helicopters, drones, and dogs searching for a man who escaped an arrest attempt. A live look at the efforts to find him.
Then, a banned drug, still easy to buy here in the Triangle. WRAL investigates why it's taking so long to remove it from stores.
Temperatures are going up, and so are our chances for rain. Who can see it with scattered storms mixed in? And why we're watching the weekend for potential development in the tropics.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news now, drones, helicopters, and canines, all part of a multi-county manhunt in Harnett County at this hour. Officials are looking for the man on your screen, Eric Stone. Investigators say he nearly hit deputies in Lee County as they tried to arrest him. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Ashley Rowe.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. A very active scene around the South River and Joe Collins area this evening. Authorities just clearing out about 30 minutes ago or so. WRAL's Willie Danley is outside the sheriff's office. Willie, do we know at this point why they left? And are there any updates that you can tell us about this search?
Well, Dan, although that scene on River Road cleared, that does not mean that this search is over. I actually just spoke to the sheriff, and he told me they wanted to clear that scene, hoping that the suspect thinks that they're no longer looking for him, and he stirs up again. They're still monitoring that area heavily. Take a look at this. This is a photo of Eric Stone. This is a man in question. This all started in Lee County when he almost ran over an officer, and then that officer started to chase, and now we're here in Harnett County. Take a look at this video. This is a video of that scene earlier where officers were looking for him on River Road. As I said, I did speak to the Harnett County Sheriff, and he told me that Stone faces multiple charges in Harnett County, including drug-related charges. He's not sure of all the charges that he faces in Lee County, but we are working to get that information. We do know that they have not captured him, but they have found some of his belongings while they've been searching the woods with helicopters, dogs, and even drones. They do plan to continue the search into the night because those drones have the ability to see with night vision. So we're going to continue to follow this story and keep you updated on when and if he's found. Back to you.
All right, Willie, keep us posted. Only on WRAL, a Lowe's employee is speaking out after police say a shoplifter hit his coworker with a sledgehammer. These are security video screenshots of the suspect. It happened at the Lowe's in Durham off Fayetteville Road on Saturday night. We're told the employee has serious injuries and is actually hospitalized. Another employee told us he is uneasy coming to work because of safety concerns.
I myself have encountered many shoplifters, and you never know how they're going to respond or react.
We have reached out to Lowe's corporate headquarters for comment and have not heard back.
The allegations in this next story are disturbing, to say the least. Women forced to have sex, monitored by guards, and moved around from home to home. There is a new search warrant obtained by WRAL. It shows Raleigh police are investigating an elaborate human trafficking ring that they believe has been occurring inside a home on Mount Morin Road. The victim told police that she was forced to engage in sexual acts and that she was beaten. She notes that she could only wear underwear, and black garbage bags were put against the windows so no one could look in or out. Officials are encouraging other victims now to come forward.
Let's take a live look at South Hill, Virginia now. I want to show you this because you can see some rain coming down. And if you can't see the rain, well, maybe you can see the slick, wet roads there. Yeah, that dark cloud above as well. We are tracking the chance for storms for a little bit longer. And we're also taking a look at the tropics, keeping an eye on a disturbance in the Atlantic that could be forming in the coming days. Meteorologist Mike Mays is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking these weather headlines. Mike?
Technically, Ashley, we're still under a level 1 risk for severe weather. Raleigh, Fayetteville, up towards southern Virginia. Damaging wind gusts can't be ruled out. More likely off to the west, where there are already severe thunderstorm watches in effect for the western part of the state. And thunderstorms you could see heading towards South Hill right now over Mecklenburg County. One thunderstorm over northeast Franklin County. It's moving into Halifax County. And a couple more showers off to the west. Early chances for showers and storms, and then overnight it should end up being dry. And tomorrow we could see even more storms. Now, the latest update from this afternoon from the Hurricane Center shows this orange area where that system in the tropics, which is located where that orange X is, could develop. It could develop rapidly and even make its way up toward North Carolina. There's a 60% chance of that occurring. Here's a look at the European model that shows no development over the next few days. The reason being there's not a favorable development area law for this to occur. more. Also, there's a ridge of high pressure seated in this area. There's an upper level trough off to our west. And between the two, this should get pulled up to the north. But since it will be in a more favorable area to develop over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, this could rapidly form into Debbie at some point and then move up to the north and east. Now, there's one caveat. It hasn't formed a closed circulation, and models have a hard time cueing in on how to develop these storms when that hasn't occurred just yet. So this is certainly not set in stone. Keep checking back for updates. Ashley?
All right. Thank you, Mike.
The defense attorney representing dozens of people arrested during protests on UNC's campus months ago tells WRAL that plea deals are on the table for all of them. More than 30 people were charged. That attorney says that they are in discussions right now for some deals, including community service, court costs, and fines. The Orange County District Attorney tells WRAL that he will not comment on pending cases. The next court date for those protesters is August 26th.
What is next for Roy Cooper once his term as North Carolina governor is over? That's the big question now, 24 hours after officially withdrawing from the vice presidential race. And it's why WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie traveled all the way to the coast today, asking him to clarify why he dropped out.
At an event here in Brunswick County today, Governor Roy Cooper told reporters he had told the Harris campaign early in the process that he was not interested in the VP job. He said they just waited a week to make that public. Cooper said he expected Vice President Kamala Harris to succeed President Joe Biden on the Democratic ticket, but he was surprised by how quickly it happened.
I did not want to cause any problems for her or to slow her great momentum. It was amazing the number of people that had come out and were excited. So I and the campaign both just decided we weren't going to comment on this at this point.
I asked the governor if he was concerned about leaving the state to campaign. The state constitution says the lieutenant governor, currently Republican Mark Robinson, becomes acting governor when Cooper leaves the state.
That was one of the concerns that I had.
Cooper said he doesn't believe Robinson could legally do much as acting governor, but it was definitely a factor in his decision.
We know that when I was in Japan on an economic development tour, he tried to do this. If I were the vice presidential candidate, we had concerns that he would try to seize the limelight, because there would be a lot, if I were a vice presidential candidate, on him, and that would be a real distraction to the presidential campaign.
I also asked Cooper if he had other political plans for his future. Would you consider a run for Senate in 2026?
I think all options are on the table for me. That's way too early for me to be thinking about that.
Laura Leslie, WRAL News, Brunswick County.
Some big wins today for Team USA in Paris, including Simone Biles' epic comeback, leading the women's gymnastics team to gold.
I'm glad she's on our side, right? Yes. She's now the most decorated American gymnast of all time. And at 27 years old, Biles is also the oldest American woman to win a gold medal in gymnastics. She got a standing ovation inside after her floor routine. So Simone Biles, Suni Lee, Jordan Childs, Jade Carey, and Hesley Rivera, they absolutely dominated in every event. USA Swimming also taking center stage today. And this afternoon, NC State's Catherine Burkhoff made her Olympic debut, winning bronze in the 100-meter backstroke.
I wish they could have sent us a better photo of Burkhoff doing that amazing feat. This is a special moment for Burkhoff and her dad, though, who swam in this very same event in the 88 and 92 Olympic Games and won a silver and bronze. The women's rugby team took home the bronze, and that was a huge upset. They beat Australia in a nail-biter game. Here are some photos of the game.
Oh, man, what a game. So Australia had a 12-7 lead with a minute to go in the game. 1 minute left. Team USA had just a second left to pull off a miracle, and Alex Cedric broke a tackle, took it all the way down the field, and scored. I hope my description of it, along with these pictures, does it justice. This is the first Olympic medal, I should say, that bronze for Team USA in rugby. The team captain, Naya Tapper, also got a start in the sport when she attended UNC Chapel Hill.
That's where I started. That's where my journey with rugby began. And so without UNC, without their club team, without Jonathan Atkinson, I wouldn't be here today.
And Tapper's planning to retire from the sport. Way to go out on top. Not a bad way with the bronze medal. Congratulations, making us proud. Let's take a look at the medal count where it stands right now. USA in first place, France in second, and China coming in at third. Right after this newscast, stick around for tonight's Olympic Zone. We're going to take you behind the scenes and have some live reports from Paris.
Then at 8, it is prime time in Paris. Catch the best action of the day, including the women's gymnastics team final and several swimming races. It's all right here on WRAL. All right, gas station heroin. It's a drug WRAL has reported on extensively, including a law recently passed banning the sale of it.
I worry about, 18-year-olds going in there not knowing what you're buying.
So how is it still allowed on the shelves? WRAL health reporter Grace Haba investigates when those products have to be gone for good.
Plus, where dozens of North Carolina firefighters are helping battle wildfires. Coming up. State representatives here in North Carolina recently overwhelmingly voted to outlaw the drug tianeptine, also known as gas station heroin.
You can go into any little convenience store, especially some of those that are a little bit more rural, and you can pick up stuff that will kill you.
Despite concerns about the substance's addictive and deadly properties, the law doesn't go into effect for months. WRAL health reporter Grace Haba investigates how the dangerous product is still sitting in plain sight on store shelves.
A quiet life.
I had known my husband since I was probably about 14 years old.
It's what Carrie Womack and her husband Emery always talked about.
That was Christmas in 2022 when we first moved here.
The couple eventually settling in Stanley County.
That's his signature right there. It's from our marriage certificate.
But these days,
I miss his personality.
The silence is no longer one of comfort.
And I miss the love that he shared with me.
34-year-old Emery died from an overdose June 29th.
I said, what was on scene? What did y'all find? And they showed me bottles.
The bottles contain tianeptine, branded as Zaza and known as gas station heroin. Do you know how much he had taken?
I have no clue. I do know that there was about 8 to 9 bottles on scene.
She has since learned of the dangerous truth hidden in these bottles.
That's scary that it's sold in tobacco stores and you don't even know it's there.
Emery's overdose happened just days before Governor Roy Cooper signed a ban on the sale of tianeptine. But that ban doesn't actually go into effect until December. And I wondered, can you still find it on store shelves? So I went looking right here in Wake County. The first vape shop I went to told me they never carried those kinds of dietary supplements. The second told me they did previously sell Zaza and Neptune's Fix, but had stopped carrying them about 3 to 4 months ago. That's right around when a second distributor of Neptune's Fix issued a voluntary recall after multiple FDA consumer warnings. An employee at the third store nodded yes right away and pointed me to the corner where multiple kinds of tianeptine products were displayed.
I worry about, 18-year-olds going in there not knowing what you're buying, because even the people that probably work at these stores don't know what you're buying.
We took the question, how can tianeptine still be sold after a ban was passed, to State Representative Stephen Ross.
If I had my way in the beginning, I would have banned it instantly.
He explained the answer lies in a murky legal area the drug finds itself in now. With no federal ban and North Carolina's law not yet in effect, there's nothing preventing stores from cashing in on dangerous sales other than their own moral compass.
The sad part is you don't know how many more families are going to be affected between now and then.
Until then, Womack says she'll try and warn as many people as she can, worried of what else could come in these next 4 months.
Addiction is inedible. It doesn't pick or choose. It takes you. And I just hope that they never have to deal with something like this.
Grace Haba, WRAL News.
By the way, we tried to contact multiple manufacturers of these products and reached out to the store in Wake County that is still selling it, but our efforts so far have gone unanswered. Well, dozens of major fires are burning across the American West this evening. Take a look at these images. North Carolina firefighters are on the front lines. The North Carolina Forest Service has 87 firefighters out west right now from Colorado to Oregon. Fire crews we spoke with said this fire season has featured more mega fires. That's their term for the fires that grow explosively and are hard to contain.
Normally August is the hot time for when we're really dispatching a lot of people out west on fires. It's kind of started a little bit earlier this year.
Oregon is currently hosting the most North Carolina firefighters with 69 on the ground there.
Well, we got some decent weather in Durham right now for a Durham Bulls game as you take a live look there at the stadium. Meteorologist Mike Mays joining us. A little bit of rain falling right now to our north.
Yes, Mecklenburg County and Southern Virginia getting a pretty hefty thunderstorm right now. South Hill, it's on your doorstep, going to be impacting the I-85 corridor there. Very heavy rainfall, frequent lightning strikes. Another cell, very small in nature, affecting parts of Warren County and Halifax County near the Airlie community. Maybe eventually heading up toward Littleton and Roanoke Rapids. And we have a new cell that's developing over in northern Orange County, soon to be moving into northern Durham County. We have the chance for some showers or a storm through about midnight tonight. Most of the activity is off to the west, where there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for parts of southwestern North Carolina and upstate South Carolina. No signs that's going to make its way here. After our 92 today, we ventured back into the 90s. It's 87 right now. Quite a bit of cloud cover over North Hills, looking at mostly cloudy skies. No rain immediately developing in the area. 88 in Fayetteville right now, 81 in Roxborough, 81 in South Hill. By the way, Fayetteville, you had 90 for your high today. So here is the big picture. What we are seeing setting up in the atmosphere is a big ridge of high pressure that will gradually extend here into North Carolina, and the heat will be on the rise. It's mid to maybe upper 90s tomorrow, upper 90s to around 100 for Thursday and Friday. But this is what we call the ring of fire. When we have a ridge of high pressure sitting over the southern plains, thunderstorms tend to develop on top of the ridge and follow the upper level winds and move downstream. So for us today, the trajectory is focused to our southwest across South Carolina. During the day tomorrow, it may shift a little farther to the north, and then on Thursday, it could be right upon us. That's when we have another risk for severe weather. In the meantime, these tend to develop during the afternoon and then follow the trajectory and make their way into our area at night, and they are notoriously hard to time out. Here's Futurecast for tomorrow morning at 6. Mostly sunny skies to begin the day. I put the streamlines on the map so you can see the general motion in the upper atmosphere. So by 5 o'clock, we see storms to the north and west. The question is, will they make their way in? By 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, there's a possibility of some showers and storms. By 11 o'clock, the activity dies down to perhaps be repeated on Thursday when we have that trajectory right over us. We're currently in a level 1 risk for severe weather on Thursday for damaging wind gusts, a greater risk up to the north. So our forecast for tonight, still watching and waiting for some more storms to develop between now and midnight. 73 in Raleigh, 74 Fayetteville, 74 in Goldsboro. It's just a small chance. And then tomorrow, a hotter day, at least 95 out at RDU. Wouldn't be surprised if we had 96 or 97 the way RDU's been lately. 97 Fayetteville, 95 Roxboro, 94 at Rocky Mount. If you work outside, the next few days are going to be hard to handle. Upper 90s for Thursday and Friday, 40% chance for a storm Thursday, 40% on Friday. With more cloud cover, better coverage of showers and storms earlier in the day, the heat will be reduced to about 92 on Saturday, about 90 on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday of next week, right now, very little chance for rain, 91 on Monday, 93 on Tuesday. This forecast does not reflect if a tropical system impacts our state during that time period, so that's subject to change, Dan.
We'll be paying attention. Mike, thank you so much. Chris Lee joining us now. What's going on in sports, Chris?
There's a Cary native who's expected to be the face of NC State's defense this year, and Pat Walter went one-on-one with him. Plus, 12 will forever be remembered in Raleigh. We'll talk about what's happening with Eric Stahl and why he'll be coming back to the Carolina Hurricanes. Next in sports.
I, Eric Stahl, am proud to sign this one-day player contract to retire from my National Hockey League career as a member of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, that looks so good. No one would ever wear the number 12 in Raleigh ever again. Today, the Carolina Hurricanes announced that Eric Stahl has signed a one-day contract and will officially retire as a Carolina Hurricane. Stahl, the older brother of Captain Jordan Stahl, is the first in franchise history in goals, assists, points, and 4 other statistical categories. He spent 12 of his 18 years in the NHL in Raleigh, and he will return to see his jersey raised in the rafters sometime during the next upcoming season. We're hearing a lot about the state defense over at NC State this season, on the offensive side, but the defense is what the program is known for. Davin Vann is set to become the face of the unit in his hometown. The Cary native sat down with Pat Welter to set expectations for himself and the team.
Y'all ready for the one? Y'all ready for the one? Y'all ready for the one?
So, fifth year, Davin, what made you want to come back?
I just felt like there was a lot of things that were left undone, and there was a lot more that I could do for the program and this school. So that was really one of the big reasons why I wanted to come back.
And sacked. Davin Vann again tonight.
There's been some big leaders on the defensive side of the ball the last couple of years. Drake Thomas, Peyton Wilson.
Intercepted Peyton Wilson, diving for end zone. Touchdown NC State.
You feel like you can be that next guy?
I definitely think I can, just because, I spent so much time with those guys and they've helped guide me in the right direction. So, I've learned a lot from them, and I think that it's time for me to step up.
Hey, bring the energy from start to finish. Dominating every play.
You're a soft-spoken guy in person, but a monster on the football field. Is there a switch you flip?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it happens naturally. Like, it's not something that I try to do. Just on the field, it's different. The energy just makes me play different, feel different.
Couldn't get away. Tried to get rid of it. He was dragged down.
I say 12-team playoff in NC State. What do you say?
I think we're going to make it. We're going to get there.
Hey, they made it 12 for a reason. It opens the door, right?
Yes, sir.
Great story from Pat.
He made Pat look like such a little person. Pat's not that small, just so everybody knows. All right, thank you, Chris. In just a few minutes, the Olympic zone gets started. We have a closer look at how new technology is helping swimmers shave seconds off in the pool, how it's giving Team USA an edge in Paris. That and so much more. The Olympic zone is right after this. Thank you for being with us tonight here on WRAL News at 7 o'clock.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.